Hello, welcome to the ReT podcast. I am your usual host, the Daminator. Joining me is usual guest, Dizzle. Hi, Dizzle.
Hey, what up?
And we have a special guest with us, part of the team, maybe. I guess we'll say that for now. Hi, Cello Bear.
Hello.
So, bit of a mix-up. We have a special guest sort of situation. Cello's actually joined us as part of the team, kind of temporarily, maybe? I don't know. It's for a project in about a year's time. So look forward to that, I suppose. But yeah, do you wanna introduce yourself, Cello?
Sure. You can call me Will or you can call me Cello. I go by either one. I am a cellist. I write music. I recently did part of the March Caprice concert last month. And I am here on the Retranslated project because of I might be doing music, I might be doing voices, it just kind of depends. I'm just sort of here to help out and lend a hand.
Yep, absolutely. So that's actually one thing I wanted to touch on because obviously we got to talking because of March Caprice, and you showed off your rendition of No More Bugs, played with the cello, and
yes,
holy crap, it was one of the best songs that appeared that year. Like, a lot of people fell in love with your version,
which honestly surprised me. I don't know if it's just because I'm like as all artists are, very self-critical, or because I don't know. I felt like my mix could have been better, but it did capture a lot of people's attention. And actually, there was that what was it? It was an article of.
Yes, I saw that. I saw someone posted an article saying, like,
for Noisy Pixel.
Noisy Pixel, that was it. Yeah. So
and they said one of their favorites was out of a few of them. One of their favorites was my No More Bugs.
Yeah. So I actually saw that. So they picked out like a couple of songs, like naming, they did this and they did this, and one of them was No More Bugs, which I think you were the only one that did No More Bugs. So
yeah,
it's nice that you got a straight call out mention.
It's really, a friend of mine was actually saying that it's a bit of a double-edged sword, that I put my real name on some stuff, but not on that. But that's just how it is. I'm still getting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand, but I think having that, like, real life name and username sort of distinction can be good in its own way. Because then, if people refer to you by your, let's say, stage name, your username sort of thing, that they're there because of what they've seen through that. So
that's a good point. I know where I get my audience from.
Exactly. And going back to the whole thing about being critical about your work, I mean, me and Dizzle know exactly what you mean. Like,
God,
Dizzle,
the footsteps.
Dizzle has an obsession with wanting to put footsteps sounds in all of the videos, which I completely understand, but we just don't have the time for it.
Oh, it takes so long. Hey, wait, hang on. Can I backtrack for a second? Can I ask you a question, Cello? Am I allowed,
Sure.
Adam? Can I ask you a question?
Go for it. I've got most of the
No,
time.
you're not allowed to ask questions on a podcast. What the hell do you think you are?
We normally have like an order, but I want to ask this before I forget,
No,
because
go
I'm very
for it.
curious.
Sure.
So, I'm assuming you utilize your musicianship skills in real life, yes? Are you a performer?
Yeah, I'm professionally a musician, yes.
I know with like certain art circles, so such as like voice acting, I know with things like voice acting and acting in general, it's, for whatever reason, it's super frowned upon if you're trying to get like a voice acting gig, but you have a YouTube channel and you're known as, or you have an online presence already. For some reason, they're like, oh, you're a YouTuber? No, I don't want to hire you anymore, even though your acting is phenomenal. Do you find that perhaps have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to perform something professionally but you were given a preemptive negative view of yourself from someone else because you have stuff online? Does that make sense?
That is a interesting point. First of all, with the voice acting thing, I've I've not heard that being a thing. I can believe it. I totally believe that being like a stigma that exists in the industry.
Yeah, no,
but like,
I absolutely
like,
believe that as well.
Interesting, but like ProZD is a huge voice actor, like a very talented and he's got a lot of work, but people know him through his YouTube channel.
Right, and
so
I've heard, from interviews with him that he's talked about how he's been preemptively hired for something, but then when they found out he had a YouTube channel, they cut him,
Why?
and he
That's
has
so
other stories.
interesting.
Yeah, and he's definitely, obviously, super against that stuff as well, because just because you have a YouTube following doesn't mean that you're a bad actor. If anything, I think you have more experience because you're, acting in person and online,
Well, I guess the way that I could see it, and the way that I guess some producers see it, is take Aaron Hansen from the Game Grumps, for example. So he actually has a line in Final Fantasy Remake. It's only like a background character. It's like a passing character. You just sort of go past them and you hear Aaron's voice, but you couldn't tell that it was him. But when you realise that he's in the credits, it's like, oh, Aaron was in this. It feels almost like an Easter egg. It almost feels like, oh, they just got this YouTuber guy in because he's got influence, and But I guess that is that sort of stigma.
You know what I will say? Thinking back to the ProZD example, when I see like reels of like, here's compilations of my voice acting work, I only hear him as him. No matter what voice he's putting on for the character, because I know it's him, I only hear the person, and not like like psychologically I can't ignore who it is, like, because I know the voice, I know him through skits. So it's like there is a thing there of like, I no longer hear the character, I hear the person behind it.
Although true, but also in the voice acting, it's like, oh, that's Laura Bailey. But even though, you recognize her as Laura Bailey on their roles, but she doesn't. Well, before recently with like Critical Role and stuff, she didn't have like an online persona either, even though you do recognize her and stuff, and a lot of other actors. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think when it comes to that sort of thing specifically, it's easy. As weird as this sounds, it's easy to start as an actual voice actor and then have an online presence, like Matt Mercer, like Laura Bailey. But it's a lot more difficult to start as a YouTuber and then gain that presence in a professional setting, which it sucks, but we're moving into a time where people from online situations can do these sort of things. I think the main stigma is when you see YouTubers that aren't voice actors doing voice roles.
Yeah,
like how is it the Diamond Minecart who's in Wreck-It Ralph 2 or something like that?
What?
Yeah, there was some Minecraft YouTuber who was in Wreck-It Ralph 2. He plays like one of those. He plays as one of those sort of like male boy things. but no, it's very clearly him. But it's very much
male boy number 3.
I don't know. It's like,
but it's like, you're right. There are some YouTubers have no business doing voice acting, and yet they get hired for it because they're recognizable.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like how Markiplier was supposed to appear in Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be the night. He was supposed to be the night guard at the beginning, but I just watched the video from LS Mark, who's done a whole tear into the whole thing, and he says that while it would have been nice to have Markiplier there, he's glad that he wasn't, because
it's too distracting.
It's like how MatPat's in. It's like, yeah, okay, I can see why MatPat's there, but it's a little distracting. But
he's only there for like
Mark's a really good actor, though.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
Oh, sorry.
It's the fact
that's not the point.
It's the fact that Markiplier is known as the YouTube guy.
He's too famous.
Yeah.
Who's MatPat? I feel like MatPat would be more. Anyway, I think we got off topic.
Yeah,
have you
there's 10 minutes in, there's a question I still haven't answered. No, your point of being like, is that a thing in the music industry? I don't think so. I don't think that kind of stigma exists because so many musicians find each other online. You know what I mean? Especially
Right.
if you're not a classical musician, you're probably going to find people you want to collaborate with through YouTube, through Instagram, like through social media platforms. Also, I've only recently begun having a online presence, so I don't have a great like personal example of it. But I can say, like, musicians, we seek each other out, and when we find like talent we're interested in, we will reach out and like, hey, let's collaborate and do things like that. I've gotten recording sessions through people at my work. I've gotten sessions, or like I've done weddings because I knew a guy who was a friend of the person getting married, or like it's always about like those 1 or 2 degree connections. And so
yeah, it's all about the networking.
do either of you know a violinist on TikTok named Mia Asano?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. Point is, she plays electric violin and does a lot of like pop covers. I went to school with her. She was in a quartet. She was in a quartet with me, right?
Nice.
And so, but like I knew her like just as a regular person, and then I started to see her through the TikTok persona, and it was like most people who know of her like know that persona and know that version of her. So I could see it's like for me it's like I love her. She's a dear friend, but I find it hard to like watch some of her TikToks because it's like I know you for you.
Yeah.
You know? And if I want to collaborate with you, I want to collaborate with you, not your persona. So that's just that's like a personal thing for me. She's hugely successful and I'm so happy for her, but it's like
of course, yeah.
There's those like those little things of like if you hire a YouTuber, and again, this is going back to voice acting, I don't think it's a huge problem in the music industry, but if you hire a voice actor, are you getting their talent or are you getting their fame?
Yeah, it sort of feels like, you know how every early 2000s, every late 2000 movie saying, oh, we've got Rob Schneider in this film. It sort of feels like that's the modern equivalent.
That's still a thing. Look at the cast for animated movies. They fill them with like A-list stars because they think that's the only thing that's going to draw in an audience.
Rob Schneider,
but they suck at voice acting half the time.
Sorry.
You know what's so funny though? Because usually I hate when it was freaking Angry Birds. The Angry Birds movie had like one of the most like all of these A-list cast members who are doing these voices. And I was like, this is not necessary. This feels weird. You could have found people who are actually like professional voice actors. The exception I found, the live action Lion King movie. Do you remember like 3 or 4 years ago when it was announced?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I saw the list of like, these are the people who are going to be in this film. Because of who it was, my first reaction was, this film's gonna bang. Obviously, I was wrong for a different reason, but it was
like
something about
Beyonce in this, and she was going to have a new song in the movie. And
yes,
it sucked.
Okay, well, I can't control that.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
Let's go. Okay, Chris Pratt did not do a bad job. I'm just going to say it. I think he did okay.
Yeah, he's all right. It's just he's clearly he's not a voice actor,
No, I think there are certain actors who really shouldn't be voice actors. Like, I like Tom Holland. Tom Holland's quite good as a voice actor.
I'm so sick of Tom Holland.
I know, I get it. I do
so
understand why
him.
I understand why people don't like him because he's just so much now. But he played I can't remember the name of the boy. He was in Onward. He was the weedy young boy.
Oh yeah. The guy who looks like Linguini from
with Chris Pratt. But that's
a
very good example of why actors and voice actors are very different, because Tom Holland really sinks into that role really well, while Chris Pratt really doesn't. Like that, it's that weird juxtaposition. Like, if you ever wanted, like, if someone says, like, oh, what's the difference between voice actors and actors? Show them Onward. That's the difference.
Okay, I see your point.
But yeah, anyway, getting on track. This is a Kingdom Hearts podcast, after all. We should probably talk a little bit about that. So, we actually got to talk about this a little bit during our 2 months of nonsense that me and Jan did for March Caprice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Cello Bear was one of our victims.
Yes. I was
Indeed.
shanghaied
That
into
was-
submission.
We can actually talk to you about it and respond. So, first thing I want to ask, how did you get into Kingdom Hearts?
Yes, this is a story I like to tell. First of all, anytime someone brings up Kingdom Hearts in a conversation, I have to resist myself from going on a 2-hour talk about it because I'll rope people in so easily. But I was 10 or 11 years old. It was 4th grade, 5th grade around that time. And my mom, we've always been a Disney household. I watched Disney movies growing up. We go to Disney World fairly often. DVC members, let's go. But my mom brought home a copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 from a Blockbuster. Adam, do you know what a Blockbuster is?
I know what a Blockbuster... I'm nearly 30. Of course I know what a Blockbuster is.
Oh my god. Okay.
Indeed.
How dare you?
No,
I'm not going to say old. I
You're fine,
am.
you're not old. I'm 25, so I get it. But
The nerve.
no, it wasn't a "Are you old?" It was a "You're British." So I didn't know if it was.
Okay,
I didn't know if they
so-
had them in the UK.
Yeah, we did have them in the UK. We clearly don't have them anymore because...
Right. Okay, but my mom brought a copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 from a Blockbuster. So it was a week-long rental. And she was like, here, this game has Disney characters on the front. You might enjoy it. It was a very surface-level thing.
Right.
But I was intrigued enough. I was like, okay, thanks. I put it in. Hear those first notes of Dearly Beloved.
Yeah.
Intrigued. See the intro, the AMV intro with with replaying the events of the early games, which again I had no context for. I had no knowledge of what happened in the other games, going in completely blind. But the sequence of who I now know is Sora fighting Marluxia, didn't know it at the time, but it still caught my eye. And then Naminé putting Sora in the pod, and Roxas falling out of Sora's body on the beach, just all of those little those moments, especially synced with the music, I was immediately hooked. I had to know how this story went. I had to know who these characters were. Absolutely fell in love with Roxas playing through the prologue.
Of course.
I was just so gripped by the story and wanted to know more. And then he goes away, and then you're playing as Sora, and I'm like, it was just the 11-year-old me was so enraptured by this story, and I never returned the game to Blockbuster. I still keep my copy in the Blockbuster box that I never returned.
You probably owe them a lot of money right now.
They don't exist. It doesn't matter. They can come after me when I'm dead in my grave. I do not care. I have it right here, actually. I have it on my desk.
Oh my god.
Showing off
Yeah.
stolen property, they're going to get you.
It has, yeah, yes. No, it's and it wasn't the box that had the full box art. It was the rental
crappy.
Blockbuster box, and then on the back it has game hints of there's the description of the game, and then there's Blockbuster gameplay tips. Throughout the game, the reaction command is triggered by certain actions of your enemies. When and then it cuts off something of the command, and a green triangle flashing from your foe will appear on the screen. If you hit the triangle button at the right time, you will be able to do a special move. Once you learn summon spells, you can summon certain characters to assist you during battle. Each character performs a unique action which is helpful to your party during battle. When fighting the giant Chinese dragon Heartless boss, you need to get up on its head and smash away at its horns, which are the source of its power. As this is not an easy task due to the boss constantly flying over the temple courtyard, use the wind currents from the flapping of the dragon's wings.
Oh my god.
Use the
Blockbuster,
reaction command.
Blockbuster gave you an FAQ.
For sure! Reaction commands to clench
I have
one of
no
the dragon's
idea.
tall spine ridges. When playing as Auron, you don't play as Auron, thanks Blockbuster. Using the Bushido option will trigger a joint attack by Sora and Auron that will cut a large swath through nearby foes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's there's a description of the game, and there's the gameplay hints. Dude, this is
You know
this
what?
is a treasure. I'm holding
I
on to
actually...
this.
You have magic on your hands.
Thing is, I know KH Guides, and he would absolutely love to hear about that.
Okay.
I'll try and see if I can get in contact with him, and we'll send that over to him because he would love that.
Let me tell you something. The Kingdom Hearts wiki is one of the greatest resources I've ever come across, like, in my life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. I liken. What is this? I think I'm thinking of a different guy. Keyblade Spy Master.
Yep.
Ah, yeah.
I'd liken him to a monastic scribe, like copying down information from ancient texts for future generations to see. That shit, I will wiki scroll for hours and just read things.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, I think
it is fun.
Him and Cheney were cut from the same cloth, so they both did the whole wiki thing. And I think that's actually how they met, was through the wiki and stuff. But I know that KH Guides is doing his own way of doing things, so I think he's just finished Kingdom Hearts 1, but he's adding a few more details, but he's doing Kingdom Hearts 2 now.
What do you mean? What do you mean he's doing?
He's going through, like, if you're in this particular section of this particular area in this particular world, you'll find such and such Heartless, or like if you come back at a certain time, it could be these Heartless.
Dude, there's secrets in the first Kingdom Hearts game that we are still discovering.
Well, yeah, no. So half of the modern,
right?
Half of the most recent discoveries were made by KH Guides. So he discovered.
Yes.
He discovered that there is the underground sewer waterway in Hollow Bastion.
Yeah.
There is a set of Heartless that will spawn only if you have only just gotten the Keyblade back, but you haven't fought Riku for the second time. So in that narrow window, where you have no reason to go back to the waterway, there is a completely brand new set of Heartless that you will never see in that formation. So they only spawn one way before the Keyblade, and they'll spawn a different way after you seal the keyhole.
Dude, this shit fascinates me.
It's
These
wild.
choices that that game developers make, it's, oh my god. I will send KH Guides a picture of the back of this box if he wants it.
He'd appreciate it. He would appreciate
it.
I mean, my next question was going to be, like, who your favourite character is, but based on how you talked about him...
It's probably Roxas. I think it's safely Roxas.
Yes. God, everyone chooses Roxas.
Why? But
I know. Okay, well, my favorite organization member is Marluxia.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, sorry, Dizzle?
Why?
Oh,
you're cutting out. You're cutting out really bad.
Besides the factor.
Dizzle, you cut out quite a lot there. Tell you what,
hang on.
It's Zoom all over again.
Me and Cello will keep going. Dizzle, you sort yourself out.
Wait, can you hear me?
By the way. Yes, hello.
Hello. I'm here.
Yes, we're here. I'm keeping this all in, by the way.
I'm here.
We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Hello.
So, do you want to repeat what you said?
Yeah, say what you just said.
Cello, why specifically, besides nostalgia factor, do you like Roxas?
Okay. Besides, like, apart from the fact that he was my first experience with the game,
yes.
Give me a second, because I know I have a reason for this.
He's consulting his blockbuster.
He
FAQ.
I'm
cool.
I'm searching my mind palace. No, I liked his personality in the prologue, and like I liked that he was a kid who was like struggling with certain things, and that's that sort of like, am I the only one who's experiencing weird things? Like, I've always loved that trope in games. But then I loved, as the story goes on, and I learned, like, you know, Roxas is Sora's nobody, which is a fact that you can kind of learn long before Sora learns it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like,
oh yeah,
I loved how Roxas is not just a darker version of Sora. He has his own personality and his own characteristics. I've also loved the dichotomy of, like, Sora accepts his role of being the Keyblade master, or like being the Keyblade wielder, like, fairly quickly, and kind of like he steps into it very easily. And Roxas wants nothing to do with the Keyblade. He wishes he could just have an ordinary life with ordinary friends.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of a character who, like, who rejects the situation put before them, but still uses it to their advantage.
Kind of like how Riku doesn't like the darkness, but still uses it.
Roxas and Riku, because they butt heads, but they're very similar people.
Like
Can I jump off of that with another question?
Sure.
So back in the day, first time, maybe second, 12th time playing Kingdom Hearts 2, were you satisfied with the ending with Roxas being inside Sora seemingly forever?
Absolutely. I cried at the ending. I still cry at the ending.
But you were okay with that, or was it like bittersweet because he's alive, but he's not?
It's for sure. It's for sure bittersweet. It's not a satisfying conclusion, but it's not supposed to be. It's like it's satisfying in that a piece of him still lives on, but then it's like you. I think
you feel
way too many. Yeah, and I think way too many like gamers today don't accept endings like that. They feel like everything has to get wrapped up in some way, and it's like, my least favorite thing is when writers for like a show or a game or whatever the situation is, they act like they're killing off a character, and then the character comes back later. It's like you have to commit to it. You have to make the decision and accept the consequences.
Absolutely.
So that's. I liked Kingdom Hearts 2 because it gave consequences to Roxas for what he was.
Yeah, I do kind of. That's the only thing I don't like about Kingdom Hearts 3. I understand why they brought everyone back because it's like a big last hurrah of this part of Kingdom Hearts, but it is probably the most disappointing part. It's that they bring back characters that had a satisfying ending. But
yeah, I was kind of pissed that Axel came back. Like, Dream Drop Distance, I'm like, what the heck is he doing here? He's supposed to be dead.
Yeah,
I wish they would have committed to him being dead.
I'm gonna throw out a controversial opinion. I'm not gonna say anything like, oh, I hate Roxas or anything like that. But I genuinely believe that Roxas's strongest character moment is near the end of Coded.
Oh yeah,
that's not even really Roxas.
That's not really Roxas, but
we just you.
How dare you?
I know, but you're right. You're like the idea of
actually on my own podcast.
because Roxas's attitude is basically like, how come you get the happy ending?
Yeah.
How come I have to suffer through all this and then I don't get anything for it at the end? But you, Sora, who just gets to bumble your way through this adventure, everything comes out fine for you. So I understand his anger.
It's because Roxas feels like Sora is wasting his time. It's like, oh, why are you the one that actually exists? Why do I have to be the spare? Which is completely understandable because he is the spare. Like,
average Prince Harry moment.
It's funny because he's British.
Yeah, that's why it's funny. Actually, Adam, I want you to know that.
Yeah, no, I'm very aware.
Get it? It's funny. It's funny because he's British. Do you get it?
Yeah, you guys. Did you get it?
You guys. Hey, all right. Sorry, I'm done making fun of the culture.
So you said you like Marluxia as well, then, do you?
I do. I really like Marluxia.
Is that based on Chain of Memories personality-wise, or
Yes, I think Chain of Memories is an extremely slept-on Kingdom Hearts game. I will defend it to my dying day, both the original and the remake.
I think it's only really slept on. I think it's only really slept on because the gameplay loop is not great. But
people who don't like the card system are weak and cowards.
Okay, call me a weak and coward.
I mean, I had fun with it.
I
had fun. That's good.
Yeah. I'm being aggressive for no reason.
No, it's fine. No, I just don't care for the card system. But no, I do understand that the story of Chain of Memories is really strong. But
I love seeing sass to Sora.
But I can't. I can't help but feel bitter about the whole game for one simple reason, and that's because we just finished retranslating it.
There it goes.
And
I
editing,
was
the
like,
kind
if I have to hear Scent of Silence one more fucking time, I'm gonna
Dun,
throw myself
da,
off the bridge.
da.
I'm in your boat. I'm in your boat. Scent of Silence
Oh,
and
Scent of
the other.
Silence. And yeah, what is it? The 13th Discretion? F off.
Yep.
Yep.
I was the kind of kid who would collect all the cutscenes from the games and cut together a movie, quote unquote movie
yeah.
version of it. I was that kind of kid.
Well, Dizzle's a residential AMV sort of person.
There it is.
Yeah, I literally had a save file for each cutscene that I thought was cool, and I would just go back and watch them. Before the days I didn't have internet as a kid, so I couldn't watch them.
No, I feel that. That's you work with what you got.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I like making separate save files for boss fights. Like game mechanics, I love exploring them, and I love the mechanics of Chain of Memories. I've recently been watching like a bunch of like boss fight footage and thinking about what I really want to do is play through the games and like make videos of the fights, but have them be really like cinematic and like have both Sora and Riku and the bosses use a lot of their sleights, do like cool combinations. Sora and Riku actually take damage from time to time, and you like come close to dying. Like I want to make fights feel like fights.
Interesting. And then you record it, and then you make a cello version of the 13th
Yeah, and then I cover
and
all the soundtrack. Chain of Memories soundtrack is also pretty goated.
No, Silence can fuck off. like Chain of Memories has some proper bangers, but every single one of their good songs, and every single one of the good songs in Chain of Memories is made like 10 times better in a different game. Like 13th Struggle is better in Kingdom Hearts 3. It just is.
True.
Although speaking of music, obviously, go on. Go on, Dizzle.
Huh? Oh, I didn't say anything.
I thought you said you had a question.
Oh, did I? I mean, I have lots of questions.
I was gonna move on to the topic of Kingdom Hearts music because obviously we have our music. We have a music guy here. It might be worth hearing an opinion. Hey, what's your opinion?
I have strong opinions.
What's your opinion? So we actually just finished doing a music quiz video, which Dizzle was a part of. And I just want to know like what tracks from the games you love, what you don't like. It'd be nice to hear your opinions.
Well, I'm trying to think of like what specifically draws me to a certain track. I love anything that has a good something that loops really well. You know what I mean? Which most Kingdom Hearts music does. But I like, obviously as a cellist, I like a good bass line. I like Yoko Shimomura does this thing where she'll have like one figure that like it'd be like a 1 or 2 bar figure that is really catchy, has like interesting shape to it, and transposes easily. So her style is like she will move between keys in her tracks, and it won't stay in the same place. And
give us an example, like which one you like.
I'm currently, since we're talking about Chain of Memories, I'm thinking about Struggle Away. Dun 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 dun.
I'll have that one. I'll have it playing in the background of the podcast.
I think it's an F. Yeah. Bum 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 bum. It's an F. If I'm gonna get all music theory nerd on you, but it's an F Phrygian, which is a specific mode.
Sure.
Yeah, it's F, but then the second note is lower than it should be, or lower than normal. Not should be. There's no right or wrong answer.
Right.
Dun, 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 dun. She likes to go from like 1 to 4 and then back, which just in a music theory sense, it's kind of like the first half of a track will have this energy that feels like it's leading up towards something, and then it finally reaches this climax and then switches keys, and so it helps keep the music constantly feel like it is growing more intense. And then it'll like I think the hardest part to write is the retreat, the like going back to the start of the track, going back to the original key,
yeah.
and she does it so masterfully you almost never notice.
Well, yeah, we said this during the music quiz that like Yoko Shimomura has she spent years perfecting this art, not just in Kingdom Hearts, but like in loads and loads of different games, and she's essentially just become a master at it. I actually got to watch Yoko Shimomura perform live a few years ago. I went to see World of Trace. In,
she wasn't at my World of Trace.
She was at mine. She was at the London one.
She just happened to be in town, probably.
Yeah, well, you're going to get even more jealous because my seat was the one closest to her piano. So,
how close were you to the stage?
I will tell you now, I think I was about 10 feet away from the stage.
Oh,
I was sat there with my big bucket of M&Ms, which I had made Kingdom Hearts. Well, it was in London. I had to go to the M&M store. F you.
What?
There's an M&M store in London.
There's one in New York. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it really is. But
you're allowed to have M&Ms in the concert hall?
Yeah.
You can have beer in the concert hall.
Yeah.
Oh dang! I didn't.
But yeah, no. The M&M store in London has a massive wall of different types of M&Ms, and they come in a different set of colours. So I made mine Luxord coloured because he's my favourite.
What?
So I had.
What the hell is Luxord
basically, I had it mostly.
That is a previously unsaid sentence in human history.
I had this M&M tub, basically filled with black M&Ms. I had a little bit of white to represent the cards, and I had a little bit of the light beige to represent his hair. Just on the top.
Tastes like.
I don't have a picture, so I can't show you. But it was really funny. It was like the nerdiest thing I'd ever done, and that's saying a lot because there were people at that place dressed up in full organization coats.
Oh yeah,
I
wore my coat too to my performance as well.
Yeah, no, it was cool going to see this because it was actually a shame because Yoko almost didn't come on stage because she was ill. But she felt like she had to. She felt like she'd come all this way to London, and felt like she had to play at least one song. From London, she then went to New York, which is probably why she wasn't on stage. She was probably backstage, but she didn't go on stage because she was ill at the time. So I'm sorry that's the way she was.
That's what I'm saying. She's such a classy person.
Yeah, no, she's fucking awesome.
I didn't get to see any of the original Kingdom Hearts concert tours because I was always in the wrong city at the wrong time.
Ah, right.
I went to school. Oh yeah, that too. That helps. But I went to school in Boston, and I'd be home when they were in Boston, and then I'd be in Boston when they were in my hometown.
Oh no way!
So yeah, I missed it twice.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I flew to Texas for the concert because nobody ever. The only things that ever come to Minnesota are like the Final Fantasy, the smaller concert series. I forget what it's called.
Distant Worlds?
Mr. Cloud Final Fantasy himself.
Okay, the other one.
Minnesota.
In Minnesota. It wasn't Distant Worlds. It was. I have all the CDs. Where are they? It's right here. Hang on. It's here.
We're getting our merch out.
We are. Are we gonna have to compare merch now? Are we?
No. Sorry. I don't. They must be in my CD case. I don't remember what it's called.
But it was like a lot of Kingdom Hearts merch. But if I put it all in one place,
let's have a little game, shall we?
Oh no!
What's the best Kingdom Hearts thing that you own?
Best?
Like, would you say if you were to go up to a Kingdom Hearts fan and say, "Oh yeah, well I have this," like what would you say? What's the proudest thing that you have? Like for me, I'm not gonna say this is the proudest thing, but I've got fucking a pop vinyl of Kingdom Hearts 3 Riku. It's like cool.
Yeah, it's cute.
I really like my light up clock.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
And I do have the
station clocks.
Yes. So and it lights up in the. It has all of the little Station of Awakenings on it, and it does light up when the lighter is on, and it gets dark. Or no, it doesn't. It lights up when the lights are off. And there was an option to get one with like an FM radio, but it was like $100 extra, and the FM radio, like their speaker quality sucks, so I didn't get that
Oh
one.
my
But
god.
Right.
When this
so I
is
really
done,
like
I want
that.
to see a picture.
And then
Yeah.
I also have a Kingdom Hearts alarm clock as well that I got that was official, and it plays. It can either play for your alarm, Dearly Beloved, Blast Away, or Roxas's theme. So I can wake up to
What a
that.
spread! What a spread of tunes!
No, not Blast Away. Not. Bum 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 bum. Hand in
Hand in hand.
Sorry. I just think of gummy ships when yeah. So it has those. The speaker quality sucks, and a lot of the lights on it you like can't really tell what time it is because they've gone bad. But I love it anyway.
Yeah, no. If we can get a picture of them, I'll show them on screen right now.
Sure.
But yeah, no.
Sure.
The coolest thing that I own a few things. I have an unofficial Dearly Beloved music box, which I got for my birthday a few years back. I've got a couple of pop vinyls. I said Riku Kingdom Hearts 3, but I've also got Kingdom Hearts 2 Pete.
Yes, I remember that.
I've also got a Kingdom Key necklace, which I can't wear because my neck is too fat. But the quintessentially coolest thing that I own is my original Kingdom Hearts 2. My original copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 is signed by Luxord.
By Robin Atkin Downs?
Robin Atkin Downs, yeah.
Shit, bro.
I got to meet him, and he accidentally spoiled something from Kingdom Hearts 3 for me.
What did he say? What did he say?
So when I got to meet him, this was in I'm not going to say which city, but it was in a
Sure.
it was at a Comic-Con in the UK, and I got to meet him. His wife was there. He had his daughter behind the desk as well, and I went up to him, and I was thinking, like, before I got to meet him, it's like, okay, clearly I'm a big Luxord fan. Is there anything else that he's done in the past that I can say? Oh, I knew that he'd done the medic, but the medic would be an easy one for Team
Yeah.
Fortress 2. And I saw that he did Davy Jones in the Pirates of the Caribbean games.
Yeah, he
So-
does a voice double.
Yeah, he's the voice double of Davy Jones and all that. So I saw that he did them for the games. I thought, right, okay, I'll mention them and say, like, oh, I'm not a big fan of that voice. And when I walked to him, oh god, Discord ping, thank you.
Love it.
Sorry.
Went up to him and asked and said, oh, I'm a big fan of Luxord. Can you sign my copy of Kingdom Hearts 2? And saying, oh yeah, great. And as he was signing it, he said, I said, I also love your Davy Jones voice. I think it's fantastic. He's like, oh yeah, no, I like that I get to reprise him in Kingdom Hearts 3. His wife hit him. He's like, what? Wait, was I not supposed to say that?
Nice.
And about 2 weeks later, it was announced that world was in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Dude, that's dope.
So
That's such a dope story.
I love that I got that little bit of inside knowledge 2 weeks before it was officially announced. So that's all. That's why that is my favorite item. It's because of that little story.
Nice. I remember the reveal for that world it took everybody by surprise. Nobody knew Caribbean was coming back.
I did.
Well, okay,
Except
thank
for
you.
Adam.
I was literally
But
the only
the rest of the community at large had no idea. My best item. I have a couple like really good. Like I got the I pre-ordered like Kingdom Hearts 3, so it came with all the collector's edition stuff, which is kind of cool.
nice.
It has like the metal art box. I have a life-size Keyblade, Kingdom Key Keyblade. It's like it got torn up when I moved apartments,
Oh,
so
no.
it got a little like scratched up on the
Aw.
side. So it's still cool. It's actually in the background of my No More Bugs video.
Right.
But my the favorite Kingdom Hearts thing I own is actually a jacket. It's a rain jacket. I have two pieces of Kingdom Hearts clothing. One is like it's like blue and black, and it has like I think the heart is on the front, and then on the back it there's like this cross design with a bunch of different symbols and like icons. There's like the heart, the crown, the keyblade, the nobody symbol, the heartless symbol, like those sort of iconography type things on the back.
Awesome.
And that's like it's listed as a medium, but it's definitely a large, so it's like big on me and it's very comfy.
Ooh,
That's good.
And then I have another
that sounds
jacket
awesome.
that is in the style of Roxas's shirt.
No, that's nice.
Oh.
They're both very nice
Ooh.
pieces of clothing, but those probably aren't like it's not the best Kingdom Hearts merch, but it is my favorite for sure.
No, that sounds really, really nice.
I wear the Roxas one just like
Mhm.
out.
Of course you
Yeah.
do. You don't have to show your face for any of the pictures, but like I'd love to see that.
I don't care.
We'll have it up
I'll
on
show my
screen.
face all the time.
That's fine. Well, if you want to share a picture, we'll put it up on screen.
Sure, give me a
Um,
sec.
No, not right now.
Also,
I
later.
didn't leave.
I mean, for when I'm editing, I'll put the picture up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
later I'm just gonna live stream and show you that alarm clock thing because I forgot it has a whole bunch of other functions, so it's pretty sweet.
Sure, we'll do that after recording.
Cool.
Yeah.
God, I don't even know what to talk about next week. We've got another 15 minutes to fill.
Sick.
Tell you what,
Wait, you didn't ask.
I've
Wait. He didn't answer the question about what his favorite songs were.
Oh, yeah,
Like technically, like
yeah.
give us.
Yeah, I went on a
title.
completely different, unrelated rant
yeah,
about
you
Kingdom
went on the
Hearts
te-
music.
You went on the technical
God,
side of
I
it.
could do this podcast all day. This is
Absolutely.
great.
Okay, favorite. I'm gonna give you my top 3 world world tracks, world/battle tracks, and
Okay.
top 3 boss tracks.
Ooh, okay.
How's that?
All right.
Yeah, no, sounds great.
Okay. My favorite. These are in no particular order. They're just my top 3.
Okay.
But for world tracks, I love Hollow Bastion, the original Hollow Bastion, not reviving
Ooh.
Hollow Bastion.
No,
The
that's,
Same,
original
that's very
Kingdom
good.
Hearts,
Like,
the Kingdom Hearts 1 version that has that sort of somber atmosphere.
yeah, the quite
Uh-huh.
haunting sort of feel to it.
Yes.
Harp sounding. Yeah, I like that.
hmm I love Lazy Afternoons,
Classic.
specifically Chain of Memories, because of the harmonica.
Really? Oh no! Yeah,
Really?
Of course, yes.
It
'Cause
has
the-
Yeah.
a different vibe to it. It's
yeah,
a
the
bit more
harmonica isn't in the Kingdom Hearts 2 version, is it?
No, the Kingdom Hearts 2 version is an
Replace-
soprano sax. Soprano sax.
Yeah, it's a-
Right.
Okay, so Hollow Bastion.
I swear, if
Lazy
you
Afternoons.
caps this off with Fiddy Fun, I'm stopping this podcast.
Why would I do that? Genuinely, why would I do that?
It's the best piece of orchestration. No, I'm sorry. Continue.
I'm going through. Ooh.
Are we hearing his mind work in live real
You
time?
know, the gears are turning. I said world or battle tracks. I love the rustling forest from Birth by Sleep.
Mhm.
Right.
That's a banger.
I had in college I had a roommate who was from Romania, and this was around the time Melody of Memory came out, and the demo of Melody of Memory had Rustling
Yes,
Forest
it
on
did.
it. And he sat down, he wanted to play it with us, and we played Rustling Forest for him, and he said, "This sounds Russian as fuck. It sounds like Russian classical music."
You know what it is? It's because
Yeah.
of
I love Russian
the
music.
tuba in the background.
It's-
It sounds almost Eastern European, like that.
Yeah, dude, I love that track. Okay, so those 3 for world themes.
Mm.
Hold on, my mother is sending me pictures of a menu. I need to order some food.
Fair enough.
I think actually the Rustling Forest was brought up by one of our team members. It was in there, wasn't it, Dizzle?
Oh, for the favorite
quiz.
songs, I believe.
For the quiz,
I believe
yeah,
so, yeah.
I can't remember who said it off the top of me, but someone certainly did. I think Lazy Afternoons.
Yeah, it was definitely in my top.
I think Lazy Afternoons was brought up once. So I remember editing that. In
Really?
there. Yeah, it was brought
Mhm.
up once as a favourite. Hollow Bastion's theme wasn't. So is it just Hollow Bastion?
It's
or
the
is
first one I
is-
think
is-
of when I think of favorite songs, but
is-
it didn't quite make it up to my top 2.
Is the battle theme called Scherzo de Notte? Is that what
Scherzo
it
di
is?
notte.
Scherzo de Notte.
Scherzo.
Right, got
Sorry.
it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be picky about pronunciation.
Oh, I thought that one was the Forte. Which one's that? Isn't there like a Scherzo de
My
Forte
fav-
too, or am I?
My favorite track is Obscures des Xehanort.
Scherzo di Xehanort.
I said Obscures des Xehanort.
I'm doing like a prog version in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, battle tracks or like boss tracks. I'm going through like the ones that I've been. Obviously, got to pick Lord of the Castle as one of
Yeah,
them.
Lord of the Castle.
That's just one of the
fantastic.
hardest themes of all time.
To be honest, I'll say, like, I'm surprised that didn't come up in the quiz. I fully expected someone to say that, and no one did.
Interesting.
Pretty good.
Not to say that I don't think, not to say that people didn't like it. I reckon it probably would have been third or fourth for a lot of people, but because
Yeah, we're only allowed to do our top two.
top
so.
two to make the quiz. You know,
I give him a top
length.
10 list anyway, but
You did.
Nice.
You put mostly. I think like 7 of your top 10 were dearly beloved, and then
That's
one of
funny.
and then one of your the one dearly beloved that you didn't
Fuck.
like and put in your hated list was the swing version, which I do not
sorry.
like.
Dude, the Swing version's okay. I was just reminded of the Unchained version.
Unchained
Unchained
is
version
alright.
of.
It's dearly
Of
beloved.
what?
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh yes, I
Yeah.
do love Unchained.
Yeah, it's all.
It makes me really nostalgic.
It almost has like a.
Yeah.
I'd like. If there's one style of dearly beloved I'd like to hear a bossa nova version.
Didn't someone do that for March Caprice one year?
Maybe.
Probably.
Possibly.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay. What did I say?
You're saying your top 3.
Oh, Lord of the Castle. I
boss
said
tracks.
Lord of the Castle.
Lord of the Castle. Was
Lord of
one.
the Castle, yes.
Damn, there's so many to choose from.
That's why we couldn't have Lord of the Castle on our quiz, because
Yeah,
there's
there's a
too
lot.
many.
Destiny's Force.
Oh, which one's that
Sing it.
again?
Dun 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 dun.
Oh,
dun,
yes!
dun,
It's,
dun 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 dun.
The
Yeah.
the boss battle theme for standard bosses in Chain of Memories, right?
In the no, you're thinking of Struggle Away again.
Am I thinking Struggle Away?
Da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-dun.
No,
It's from King.
Oh, yes,
One.
yes.
No,
Yeah,
not.
Phantom.
Oh, it's in the Phantom fight.
Like the first Dark Side boss battle on the island.
Yes.
Yes.
That too.
That's what I always think of. Yeah, that's a
I
good one
always
too.
think of
Oh,
Phantom. I love
interesting. I
that
never
boss
thought
fight.
of. There's always songs that like I don't think of as like a favorite, but then they're always someone's favorite. Just like Pokemon. Somebody's favorite Pokemon is Rattata. You'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
I'll say actually, that was actually one project that I wanted to do on YouTube was like do friend decks and try and find one person who likes one Pokemon and try and find one for every Pokemon. Like I want to find the nutter who likes Mankey.
There's got to be someone whose favorite Pokemon is Mr. Mime.
There has to be.
Has to be.
Side tangent. Favorite Pokemon, guys. Crobat is here.
Nah, I have never played a Pokemon game.
You suck.
But you don't have a favorite regardless? They're fun.
Look, I just like the ones that I like the appearance of. I
Fair
don't
enough.
care
Yep.
about their stats
That's
or their
how I
abilities.
go. My favorite's Ponyta because it's a fire horse.
Not
Nice.
Rapidash.
No, I like the look of Ponyta better. I like its eyes better. Rapidash, the way it has pupils again, I just don't like it.
Fair enough.
You can tell a lot about someone by their favorite Pokemon.
You can. Okay, can you tell something about me with Crobat?
I have no idea what that looks like.
Fair enough. Let's get back
You're
to your
overrated,
music.
that's what.
Let's get back to your music. So,
I know,
Sorry.
I'm
Hate it,
trying to
hate
think
it.
of-
no, you got one more boss that you said.
Oh, you're
Vim,
right, you're right,
Vim
you're
and
right.
Vigor, obviously.
Vim and Vigor.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's always a good one.
Bum, bum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum.
that is a very good one.
Yeah.
I like
love
playing
one.
that on Melody of Memory a lot.
Side tangent.
Yes.
My favorite. So one of the tracks that I put was the tumbling.
Yes, banger! I knew you were going to say that. Oh my god.
I love the
that track too.
tumbling. So good.
We made this point during the podcast, during the quiz, was like, because I'm autistic. Like, I think Dizzle said, "Oh, I reckon Adam chose this as his favourite because he's autistic and he likes to stim to it." It's like that's exactly it.
That's a good track to stim to. Dude, it's a rave.
So
it's fully a
It
rave.
really is. Oh god. So go on. Are there any tracks that you don't like? You don't like in the series?
Oh, is there a track I don't like?
We've
Like
had
that I
a
just
few
can't-
See, that was the
choices.
problem with our quiz because it was like, "What's your most hated song?" I'm like, I do not hate a single song in Kingdom Hearts.
That's hard to.
I mean, Jan
Your
cheated.
least liked.
Jan cheated by putting "He's a Pirate" specifically the Kingdom Hearts 2 version.
Boo. Okay. I think most of the music in Dream Drop Distance is kind of bad.
Yeah, it's not great, but it is also the first one which Yoko didn't do all the music for. It was done by someone
Really?
else. Yeah, so Yoko had done all the music for all the previous games, and Dream Drop Distance they brought in the world ends with you.
Takahiro Ishimoto.
Yeah.
He did
Ishimoto,
Birth by
yep,
Sleep
yep.
as well. He did some in Birth by Sleep.
Oh, did
Yeah,
he?
because Birthday Sleep is super
did Enter
like
the Void.
string-focused.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Ishimoto's music.
No.
Not in the
Most
context of
musicians
Kingdom
are.
Hearts.
They mostly brought him in for the grid because
Yeah, because Yoko does not do electronic
Yoko
stuff.
was not. Yeah, Yoko's not really massively familiar with technical, like electronic-y sort of sounding music.
Mhm.
So they brought Ishimoto on mostly because of the grid. But he also did Young Xehanort's theme, if I'm not mistaken.
What? There's no way.
I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
No, the
Yoko.
melody's too good. The melody's too good for him.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Yoko that did that.
Fact check.
We are going to have to fact check.
All right.
I have been wrong on this podcast before. Tell you what, we're actually near the end, so don't fact check me right now.
Okay.
We'll do it after, and I'll make a correction in post.
You'll put little subtitle
Yeah, just like a
correction.
message on saying, like, Adam was wrong.
Sure. Okay. I have a question to posit for you two.
Oh, go on.
Yes, please.
What do you think was the biggest missed opportunity in a Kingdom Hearts game?
Oh.
Are you referring to gameplay or story-wise, or neither?
I'm
or
gonna
both?
say story. Let's stick with story.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
Something
repeat the
that,
question, please. Now that I have that in mind.
I am looking for a moment where something cool could have happened, like, oh, there could have been a really cool boss fight here, or there could have been like something that should have or could have happened between these two characters that didn't actually take place.
I think the final gauntlet where you're fighting all the organization members could have been done better
In which game?
in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
3.
So this is more from the fact that this was before Remind came out. So obviously when you're fighting Luxord, you're not just fighting Luxord, you're fighting Luxord and Marluxia and Larxene at the same time.
Sure.
So it doesn't feel like a Marluxia fight, it doesn't feel like a Larxene fight, it feels like a gang fight on you. I feel like I would have liked that more if it was not necessarily easier fights, but shorter fights. More like if you fight, let's say you fight Marluxia first, and then you defeat Marluxia, and you get almost kicked instantly into the Larxene fight, and then you get kicked instantly into the Luxord fight after that, and only after you've beaten a stint of 3 in a row, you then get a save point. It would have felt...
Oh, I
Because
see.
it feels weird that when... Like, you have to defeat Luxord first in that fight. And so
And
when
then
you
it
defeat
stops, and there's a
Luxord,
full cutscene.
there's a full cutscene of you saying goodbye to Luxord. And Marluxia and Larxene just off in the side.
They're just standing. They're just watching.
They're just watching away. It was like, what's the point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
feels a
is
little
weird.
abstract.
It's a little weird, and they do it for every fight. The one exception is the Sayax fight, and I feel like that's the one good fight in that game, in that section rather.
The entire game? Wow.
Well,
Ouch.
no, I think in that gauntlet, it should have been everyone fought separately, like how they did Sayax. But when it came to the main trio Xehanorts, I feel like that was a good fight. But it should have been done in such a way where you knock out, you get separated and you finish off Xehanort. You go back in, help Riku defeat Ansem, and then you jump back in to help Nikki fight young Xehanort or something like that. I feel like there could have been a lot more done with that, and you know, it's fine as it is. I'm glad that we got the Remind fights because those fights are amazing. But yeah, I feel like that was the biggest missed opportunity for me.
I think that's fair. I understand why they did it the way they did it and how they had it work out. But...
I get it too, but it just feels a bit weird.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
What
is it my turn?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to think of like a story, or I guess I can't think of things in which I could think of something myself that would be a better situation, but I absolutely dislike I believe it's just in Remind where it's like Kairi's asleep for a year, but nothing about her changes. Same hairstyle. Riku sees her and is like, "Oh, you're awake. I haven't seen you for a year. One of my best friends ever. How's it going?" Yeah. Like it's just like way too casual, and it doesn't feel like any time passed at all. I wish they would have just cut that out completely and been like, "Oh, it's been like 2 weeks," because it looks like it's been 2 weeks. You know?
Yeah. It is a bit weird. It is a bit weird that it takes a year for that to happen.
The writers are very disrespectful to Kairi.
I know. So in general, I wish they would have fleshed Riku and Kairi's friendship more than they have, because I feel like you can't. It's like, oh, I gotta fight for Kairi, like, but you haven't. Besides Kingdom Hearts 1 and maybe a little bit of 2, like you haven't really shown that you like care about her much. But
yeah,
Sora. Oh, go ahead.
It does sound like they might be trying to give Kairi a bit more agency in the future. Like they are going to have her train with Aqua. Which I do feel like
Melody of Memory.
It doesn't fix everything, but I feel like it's a step in the right direction.
Right. So I just wish they would have done like relationships a little bit better in that way. It's all about friendship, so they should do that a little better. But also, sort of related just to looks. Yeah. I really wanted long hair Aqua. I wanted disheveled, like
she's been in the wilderness for 10 years.
Like, what's her name in Nier Automata, A2 or whatever? I wanted her to just have like AB. No, it's B2. That's 2B. There's another one that starts with an A. But anyway, it's just 2B with super long hair that's just not kept. I wanted her to be so disheveled and like seen like some sort of sign of aging and like weariness, but she just looked the same for 10 years. Darkness does that, I guess. Whatever.
Give her a haircut, like they gave Riku one.
No, not Aqua.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in that game. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
go ahead. But those are the only things I can think of off the top of my head that, like, the random 1 year time skip really bothered me, and then my wishful thinking of long-haired Aqua did not come to be, which is fine. Besides Ponytail Kairi, I really wanted Ponytail Kairi too, but that didn't pan out. That's fine. Nice. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness with the whole time skip thing, I think it's established in Remind that they do spend a couple weeks like checking up on all their friends and like, you know, well, Sora and Kairi anyway, and then after those 2 weeks end, Sora disappears.
I just hate Riku's reaction. Like, he just saw her yesterday. He hasn't seen his supposed best friend for over a year. Like, I hate that.
I don't know if Kairi was actually asleep for a year. Because
is that not what the text said?
Well, that's the thing. So,
pretty sure.
Well, that's the thing. So the text says a year later, and at that year later, we see Kairi's asleep, but she could have been put asleep a week prior.
Fact check. I don't believe you. I feel like they specifically
The
said that
vibes
she's
are
been
off.
searching.
Fact check.
Let's bring back the text. Adam
feel
was
like
wrong.
Specifically said that she was searching for him for a year.
Searching for
At
him,
that
but not
point.
necessarily in.
Searching in her
Roxas
sleep.
and Shion were
Yeah,
asleep
no,
too.
yeah, Donald and Goofy was. How long does it? It doesn't take a year for Donald and Goofy to search fucking worlds.
Oh,
They do
give
that.
nominate close. That as well. Thank you.
Yes, for real. Hate this shit.
That was a repetitive thing. That was a repetitive motif in this year's March Caprice. I felt like everyone was like, "Give that girl some clothes."
Yeah, I mean,
Put some pants on, girl.
Sorry, I don't think this was the answer you were
No.
looking for, but
To
this
be
is what
fair,
I could think of.
I do like.
No,
the
you're right.
I do like the redesigns that all the characters got, but it's weird that it only happened right at the end.
Hold on, you made me think of something. Sorry, I got cheese in my mouth.
What kind
Sorry, I
of cheese?
couldn't help it. It was don't kill me. Taco blend shredded. Sorry, it was in front of my face. I had to take a bite.
Okay, this is no slight on you, but is this a real thing that people will just dig their hands into a bag of shredded cheese and munch on it like chips?
I mean, I'm putting it on my sandwich for lunch tomorrow, and I just
Okay.
couldn't resist putting some in my mouth afterwards.
That's
oh,
different.
God.
But I have a friend who will literally wake up at 3 a.m. and slink into the kitchen and grab shredded cheese out of his fridge and just eat it by the handful.
To be
I feel
fair,
like I did that
to
as
be fair,
as a young adult.
I knew someone in my college days who, so college being a different thing in the UK. Every day for lunch, the only thing he would eat is just a single block of cheese. He did that for
Okay.
2
Doesn't-
years.
Ooh.
Okay.
He was weird. I'm glad that I don't hang out with him anymore. On that note,
Hang
I think we should probably end the podcast here.
Sure. I'm gonna give my
Sure.
other two thoughts that I just thought of after the podcast. Then.
Okay.
Now you can give it now if you want. Go on. While
Okay,
Daily Bluff swings.
Time's an illusion.
Okay, because we could talk Kingdom Hearts all day. I would literally love to talk to you guys for like 6 more hours after this. But anyway, the two other points that really bothered me, it was one, it bothered me that when Naminé woke up at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, she was surrounded by her captors, her previous captors, and no attention was
That
drawn
is
to that.
so weird. That is so true.
And I'm like, she's just okay with this? Like, she probably knows what's going on, but like, I would not be cool with that. They should have some talks.
I thought
All three
Marluxia was-
people.
I thought.
Marluxia was not there. Marluxia was not there.
Yeah,
but
no, I thought
Vexen-
Marluxia was the only captor. Vexen's a dick.
Well,
And
no,
then
Vexen was
Lexi-
there. Yenza was there, and then
Lexi?
Ansem the Wise, who was very rude and abusive to her.
True.
Secondly, speaking of like untalked about abuse, I was a little bit peeved. Maybe they worked it out on their own, but like Shion and Sayax acting cordially to each other, like Sayax was a terrible person to Shion, and they're just like sitting next to each other and chatting on a roof. Well, not next to each other, but like on a rooftop. Like everything's fine. Like, come on.
They could have worked it out in the 2 weeks when
No.
Sora
I
was
think
around.
I think that's why they were on opposite ends of the sitting.
We haven't
They're like,
talked about it yet.
we'll sort this out later. No, but you're
Yeah.
right. If like the cast, because I want to see more of like the Kingdom Hearts cast outside of. I'm not that interested in Sora in the real world or whatever. I don't care. I want to see more of the other characters.
You know, I want
to see them do stuff.
I want a Kingdom Hearts slice of life anime.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes.
I would go for that.
I would pay
This
money
is what
for
AI was created for. Let's do it.
that.
Nah, no, that is not what AI is created for. Don't get me on another rant.
Back
Don't get me to
this
do
It was
this.
a joke. It was a joke. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm ending the podcast here. All right. It was
Okay.
it was good chatting with you. Cello, anything else you want to add? Like, do you want to promote anything?
Yes, I was recently in New York and I did a concert with a high school. I premiered an original piece of mine. It is on my YouTube channel, and it is also on their YouTube channel. It's the Plainview Old Bethpage JFK High School on Long Island. They recorded my original piece. It's super cool. Go check it out.
The link to that here will be in the
What's your
description.
YouTube channel?
Yes, both of them.
I'll link them both in the description. Also in the description is the Discord. Feel free to join us there, and you can share your terrible opinions with us because we'd love to hear them. I think that's all we've said, right? Have we done it?
I'm chill.
All right. Well, it's a good chat with you guys. We'll see you around. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.